I'm Jazz, also known as the purple-haired granny. Welcome to my messy, chaotic urban garden. Join me as I work to transform my neglected house and yard into a beautiful, thriving space. Together, we'll tackle garden projects, DIY fixes, and share tips for bringing life back to an urban oasis. Subscribe and follow along on this wild and wonderful journey. I found pickling cucumbers at Walmart. It's not often they have them, so when I saw them, I snatched up 10 pounds immediately. In today's video, I am going to be pickling all of those cucumbers. I'll be doing one recipe of bread and butter pickles and 2 recipes of kosher dill pickles, one hot and one not hot. So the first time I tried to make bread and butter pickles, I wrote out the recipe word for word. I went in my kitchen and proceeded to put a garlic clove in each of the jars. And then when I was prepping for this video, I was rereading my recipe and realized garlic doesn't belong in this recipe. However, these were literally the best bread and butter pickles I have ever eaten. So I am going to continue to do it, and I will definitely be putting garlic cloves in this recipe as well. So now we're going to wash up these pickles, get them all sliced up, and first thing I need to do, am I in frame? So the first thing I'm going to need to do, is separate out all these pickles. I need 4 pounds for the bread and butter, and total I'll need 5 pounds for the dill pickles, 2.5 pounds for each recipe. But I have 10 pounds here, so what I'll probably do with that last pound is just sort of split it between each recipe, and that should be good enough. These are 2 pounds each, so 2 pounds for bread and butter. I'll split this in half. That should do it. Alright, so I'm going to wash up the bread and butter pickle ones first. So why I'm doing the bread and butter pickles first is these need to sit in the freezer for at least an hour, preferably 3. I'll probably do closer to an hour since I'm on a time crunch here, but they do need to be in the freezer. And then once these are in the freezer and prepped, I will start in on the dill pickles. And since they're pickling cucumbers, they shouldn't have any wax on them or anything. Like we got the salad cucumbers, those come with wax on them. So really I'm just sort of rinsing off the store goo. Alright, got those all rinsed up, so I am going to grab another bowl and chop off the ends of each one. Oops, not a bowl. Let's grab a different bowl. I need a garbage bowl.
Trash bowl.
Trash bowl. Alright, got me a trash bowl. Oh, poop. Oh, I had 1 cucumber I pulled off my plant that I pulled up the other day.
Oh, no.
And meant to bring it, but it wasn't, of course, it wasn't sitting with these. So I forgot all about it. Alright, so the onions, the pickles, we need into a salt brine. So we'll go with this salt into water, and then I put it in the freezer. We can also just ice them. It's ice. Yeah, basically what I do is it helps the pickles stay through. So you cook them for the jars. Now the dill pickles, I do that, just put them for the jars. So right now we first. Right now freezer, probably do that. So the salt, the same. The water salt, vegetable. So I'm not sure. What do you get? Most of our name. Yeah. So, half a cup of salt. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of it, I put this in water. So, I'm just going to try to dissolve this salt a little bit before I put the pickles in. Well, the soon-to-be pickles. What I'm going to do here, since they're already sliced and ready to go, and of course be careful of of the nails when we get close to the bottom. Yup.
I guess piggies are the toes.
Piggies or toes. The
Careful.
phalanges.
Phalanges.
Be careful of the phalanges.
My biggest fear is cutting myself. Mom, you know that's why you brought your guard, right?
Well, I mean, I guess. It's not really good for the pickles. It's much better for the onions. Because it's so small. I hate it when she's right. Shut up.
Better fucking underhand.
Don't gloat. It's unbecoming.
It's unbecoming. Shut the fuck
Now, I'm going to put some cold water on that. Oh, crap. No, I'm not done.
Onion?
The onions and the rest of the cucumbers. I'll pour some of this juice in here. Alright, so I'm ready to make the brine for the dill pickles. That is going to include 4 cups of vinegar. I'm doubling the recipe so that it's 2 cups of vinegar for 2.5 pounds of cucumbers. I've got 5 pounds of cucumbers. I've got 4 cups of vinegar. I've got a 1/4 cup of salt times 2 and a 1/4 cup of sugar times 2. And then it also calls for, my printed recipe didn't have everything on it. Cut off. It's 2.5 cups of water, so I'll need 5 cups total. 4 cups of vinegar, 1/2 cup salt, and 1/2 cup sugar. And then I need 5 cups total of water. That's 4. Alright, now we need to get this onto this. Okay, so I've got this in. I've got the 5 cups of water, 4 cups of vinegar, 1/2 cup of salt, and 1/2 cup of sugar in the pan. Let's get this on the stove. Alright, so we've got everything on the stove now. I'm going to let this come to a boil. As soon as it's done boiling, we will get the jars out of the dishwasher and get the cucumbers packed up into the jars. I may have spilled just a teensy bit of it, but hopefully I spared enough of
I
it.
was really worried about whether or not you got burned.
Oh yeah, no, at least I'm not burnt. Alright, so 1 small piece of garlic, 1 pepper, 3 sprigs of dill, 1/4 teaspoon of mustard. So I'm just going to pack each jar with a bunch of slices, leaving a 1/2 inch of head space. So probably just to this top right here. Okay, now. Go. And then once you get the brine in the jar, you want to shake out any air bubbles. You can also poke something down in there, and then I can top this off just a little bit.
What's funny is there's 3 cameras right there.
I know. And then you need to wipe the rims. Wipe the rims, make sure there's nothing on the edges. And then you can place the lids. Make sure you only get 1. I've done this myself and I've seen other people do it where they accidentally get 2 lids, so just make sure you get just 1, otherwise you're not going to get your seal. Then fingertip tight and drop it in the jar, or drop it into the pan. So, that's it for the spicy ones. Now, let's break up the dill for the non-spicy ones so I can just streamline it. Alright, so we just got to get this boiling, and once it starts boiling, I will set a timer for 20 minutes. We will process it for 20 minutes and then take it off, pull out the jars, let them cool down. And that's it for the dill pickles. Next up, bread and butter. Alrighty. Got my recipe here. Alright. Okay, so I need 2 tablespoons of mustard seed. Alright, so I'll need 6 teaspoons. 2 teaspoons of celery seed. Celery seed I got at Walmart. Or not Walmart, Winco in the bulk food section. Honestly, if you can buy your herbs in the bulk food section at Winco, if you have a Winco, do, because you will save so much money on your herbs and spices and whatnot. 1.5 teaspoons of turmeric. And do be careful with turmeric. Don't put it in anything you don't want stained yellow. And 1/2 teaspoon of ground clove. And I'm pretty sure this is where I decided that I needed to put garlic cloves in it. I'm not sure if my brain just saw cloves and went straight to garlic. I don't know. But there's all my spices all ready to go. Alright, into my big silver pot I am going to put 4 cups of vinegar. Believe it or not, that is actually enough. My 5 cups of sugar. And then all of the spices. I'm going to put this on the stove and bring it to a boil. So, while that's doing that, I'm just going to pull my pickles out of the freezer, my cucumbers out of the freezer. And I'm just rinsing the salt off of the pickles. Well, they're still just cucumbers. Not pickles yet. Alright. Got those rinsed. And so, as soon as my brine boils, I will pour these into it. Okay, we got this boiling now. Time to dump these into the pan. That's really good. As these cook down a little bit, they will fit better in the pan. And basically we just need to bring this back to a boil, and we're just about ready to get to pickling. Alright, these are boiling. Still waiting on this to reach a boil. These guys are boiling. Alright. Pickles are off the stove. And now they're actually pickles. They're not just cucumbers, they're pickles. They haven't pickled for a month yet, but they're pickles. So, Next thing to do here is to scoop these pickles out and put them in the jars. Oh, the garlic. That's what I'm missing. Let's not forget the garlic. That was the secret ingredient there. Alright. Cut some of these up. And trust me, in this situation, there really is such a thing as too much garlic. I made a batch with too much garlic, and it really was too much. It was overpowering the bread and butter flavor. And this recipe makes 8 pints. I'm using half pints because again these are gifts, so it'll be 14-ish half pints. Alright, now I am going to ladle in the brine. Bunch of brine left. Oops. Okay. So I'm just going to shake each of these down. Make sure I'm getting all the bubbles out. You don't want any air bubbles at the bottom of your jars. And if I need to add some brine to a few of these, I can. Alright, that water in the canner is finally boiling. And so I just had my lovely editor slash camerawoman set a timer for 20 minutes. It's 15 minutes processing time plus 5 minutes for every 1,000 feet of elevation. We're sitting at 1,000 feet above sea level, so I'm adding 5 minutes. Okay. Oh, those still have what? How much time do we have left on those?
11 minutes.
Okay, those still have 11 minutes left on them.
And you have 15 in the building.
And I'm about out of time in this kitchen. So those, as soon as those are done, I will can do the same thing to those. Nothing crazy, same thing, 20 minutes, yada yada. Let's see. Anyway, you'll just let these sit for 4 to 5 weeks after you pickled them. You want to let them, after you pull them out of the water, you want to let them sit for about 24 hours before taking the rings off. You definitely want to take the rings off because if you don't, you could end up with a false seal and your food will go bad. And you don't want to waste all the hours you just spent pickling. Alright, well that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please give us a like and subscribe down below. I will link both of these recipes in the description box. Comment below what you're canning this season. And thanks so much for watching.